All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful leg out there pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg, the believers, the listeners that have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And what I want to get into today, all right, is dealing with a video that was sent. Sister had sent. All right, dealing with all right, this Edomite teacher, giving Jake an assignment. All right, about to act as if they was on a plantation and they was writing a letter back to their family in Africa. All right, and what's happening, because there was another account, another video that was sent to me, which he's going to mention it in this video, where you had some students in Texas, they did like a simulation of an online slave trade with students that they go to school with. All right, so you had an online slave trade in one school, and then another school you had this Edomite teacher, all right, tell Jake, to write a letter as if they worked on the plantation, and they write it back to their family, a day in the life, as an American slave, and at the end of the day, Esau, Edom, were just bearing witness, who they are, all right, and just bearing witness, of the judgment that's to come. You see, and one thing about our people, Jake don't understand is their judgment is already written in the scriptures. All right, their horrific slavery that we went through, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, will revenge, man, and he will, all right, make it right, And then another thing our people don't understand is we went into captivity, for our disobedience. You see, but Esau, Edom took it too far. And we'll just get it. But let's start out. Revelation 13:9 says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. And see, the believers, the elect, all right, which are the saints of this time, all right, the elect of Israel, we have faith in that, and we're, have to apply patience, for that to come to pass. But we truly believe that that's going to come to pass, all right. But we was put into the hand, all right, of our enemies because of our disobedience. When you go to Isaiah 47, all right, and 6, it says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand, that thou didst show no mercy upon the ancient. Thou hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And see, that's why people don't understand. We was giving into the hand of these Edomites, man, for our disobedience, you know. But there was always a recompense written for Esau Edom because he showed no mercy. All right. And you go to Ezekiel 35. All right, it kind of reiterates the same thing. This is Ezekiel 35 and 4. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. And this is the Lord speaking through Ezekiel, all right, to Esau Edom. All right. And he says, I will lay thy cities waste, nuclear destruction. There's another thing, like Jake so big on trying to get a Democrat in office and a Democrat in this spot and Democrat in this spot. No, man, the Most High is finna nuke this place, man. All right, he's finna nuke a lot of these Edomite cities in the earth, man. But America gonna be completely wiped out. You see, we're not here for no prison reform or to change voting law. We don't give a damn about that. No, the faith and the patience of the saints is in real judgment. Our faith and patience is in real judgment, man. You see? And it says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Yeah, it was a time, all right. Hey, well, Esau Edom, he called himself easing up, man, but he really never let up. All right. It was a time where our iniquity, you know, it was a time where we was in that hardcore bondage, and then even after that hardcore bondage, after this place was mostly built up, all right, what happened, man? He called himself letting us go, but that you had more Jakes being hung after slavery than during slavery, man. All right, the KKK, those terrorist groups, he just wouldn't never let up. He just had that perpetual hatred, as the scriptures say. And we're not surprised about the things that Esau's doing in the earth, man. He's playing his part. We just await the judgment. All right, we just have repented, and pray for mercy in this time, and we await the judgment of our enemies, man. You see, because it's coming. Regardless, it's coming. It's just a thing of patience. James 2:13, it says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy." Yeah. All right. And there's really, a direct shot at you Edomites, man. You are the nation that showed no mercy, man. All right. And mercy rejoiceth against judgment, And in the time of judgment, we pray for mercy. That's why we have mercy on the brethren, Hey, mercy on the believers, mercy one towards another, because we understand we gonna need mercy. But Esau, he doesn't deal with mercy, man. So he will get none. You see? So let's go to the video. All right, then we'll get some more precept.
So we had just covered a story right here out of Texas where you had white supremacist students trying to sell other students online in a mock slave auction in 2021. Like I told you before, white supremacy is taught in the household. They learn that when they can barely speak. Trust me on that. We've covered videos in the past on this. I mean, it's extremely sick, demonic, mentality. Now, in this particular story here, once again, and this is a teacher, not a student, we're about to talk about here. So this story came out maybe about a month ago, and someone sent me this story after they viewed the story that we just produced. So this is out of a Mississippi middle school, and the teacher was writing an assignment on slavery, and it drew heavy criticism online. They said the assignment was given to 8th graders at Purvis Middle School. They said where students were asked to pretend like you were a slave working on a Mississippi plantation. Now, let's get to this, and Brother Sharif, you can put that thing up while we read this. So, as you can see here, it says slave letter writing activity. Before I get started even just going through this, they have an obsession with your subjugation, black people. They have an obsession with slavery because some of them look at slavery and look at those slavery plantations that's still around, and you know how some of them want to go have their weddings on a slave plantation, and how they preserve these slave plantations out here. And some of them, look at movies like 12 Years a Slave and have a slavery wet dream and wish they can go back in time and, abuse and do black people like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why the slavery movies keep coming out. It's not that we as black Americans keep asking for slave movies. We don't ask for that. I believe there's been enough slavery movies out here. If we want to make some slavery movies, let's make more slavery movies like Birth of a Nation. Let's do those movies. Let's show the revolts. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see all that black folks being subjugated and all that. I mean, that's not improving black folks. And they keep showing you that to keep putting you not in remembrance of your ancestors, but to try to send a psychological way of reminding you to stay defeated, to say, hey, this is your place, in this country. Don't think you more than this. You understand what I'm saying? It's more psychological, and it sends a message throughout the world to devalue you, it's okay to dehumanize you because you was nothing but a slave. You understand? And then they show you in modern times, they show you as a freaking Pookie and Ray Ray. So there's nothing good about you that they produce. This is why we have to have our own people produce movies.
No, that's not the solution, But let's deal, all right, with the topic at hand. And this guy, he goes, on some things about white supremacy. He's he goes into that, within this society, but he's far, from having understanding, all right, of the solution of everything. You see, there's a higher power, there's a judge, all right, that's above, all right, this system, because he thinks, within this system that this can be fixed if you, go on to watch, the rest of the video, you know. Well, Lord willing, I'll probably respond to the second half of this video, shows, how, the solution is not, within earth. This man has to be judged from a whole nother realm. All right, as the scriptures say. Let's get that. But you see, the mind of Esau, Edom, to even, have that as an assignment, all right, to have Jake, want to do that. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 5:8. It says, if thou seest the oppression of the poor and the violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, all right, in America, just one big province, you see, and of course it's going to be perverting of judgment and justice because your enemies are ruling over you. We was sent here to serve our enemies. All right, we was never meant to get justice, all right, within this setup, and that's what Jake, is kicking and crying about. It's not going to happen. All right, you're an Israelite. You should be crying to your power, all right, to come judge this man. You see, you shouldn't be trying to figure out how to fix this problem, within this system. No, this whole system has to be taken down, destroyed, all right, and completely removed off the earth, man. All right. And it says, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Yeah, so there's a higher power that's going to judge this whole system, man. This whole Edomite supremacy, known as white supremacy. There was a power, all right, that's going to judge this power, man. This current power system. And that's our power, all right, Yahweh, through his son, Yahweh Shai. All right. The scripture talk about his right hand got him the victory. That's going to be through Yahweh Shai. We're going to get victory, all right, over the oppressor, man. But yeah, Esau show you, what he at with it when it come, to how he feel, man. The spirit, all right. You gotta think Yahweh Shai, talks about how the hearts of many shall be revealed, and the spirit of Yahweh Shai so heavy in the earth, man. These Edomites, all right, because there was two incidents, one in Texas where they had the mock, all right, slave auction, and then you had the incident in Mississippi in Purvis, which is about, I think Purvis like an hour away from Jackson, where brothers teach it, because once you get outside of Jackson, it's pretty much, hick towns, outside of Jackson, nothing major, you see, but when you go to Daniels 9 and 12, and for the teacher to want Jake to try to, relive and rekindle that moment, all right, that's wicked, man. That's wicked as hell to try to get, young Jake, the young Eve, all right, to try to relive that, man, try to rekindle that. You want them to research their destruction, man. Why? Because they only want you to be defeated. Like he had a point on that. All right, they relish in you with that defeated mindset. That's why, as you see, the house of David has raised up. It's a big problem. See, Vocab, he wants us to be defeated. You see, guys like Vocab, other clown, they want us to be defeated. But no, them days gone, man. All right, we bring up slavery just to let you know it's a recompense for that, man. All right, but we know that ain't where we started from. That ain't our origin. It's on some damn plantation, man. That's where we ended up at for disobedience. You see, but through repentance, we're gonna get the upper hand. All right. So when you go to Daniel 9 and 12, and it says, and he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us by bringing upon a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. We have suffered the worst, all right, captivity ever known to man. All right. And why the hell, would you want, all right, young Jake to rekindle that, man, to try to revisit that time period, man? and make it and put themselves in that position, as if they're on a plantation, right into their family in Africa, man. All right, showing you the weakness of these people, man. You know, just trying to play on Jake's psyche, they youth where their mind still developing, and you want to put them back, in that position. You see, but that just shows you the mindset of these Edomites. That's all they think, all right, and they relish in your destruction, man. Like the scriptures say, when you go to Lamentations, all right, all these nations, man, but chiefly Esau, Edom. All right, this is Lamentation 2, all right, and 15, all right. It says all that, and this is when we was getting, taken down by the Babylonians. All right, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi was being taken down by the Babylonians, and carried away captive. All right, and this was the reaction from these other nations. It says all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, "Is this the holy city that man called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?" You see that? They relished in our downfall. They were like, "Is this the city of perfection? Is this the perfection of beauty? All right, the joy of the whole earth." Hey, because when we was in our prime, going back to David and Solomon, man, the whole earth was under the vibration of Israel, man. In righteousness. You see, until the end of Solomon, man. But hey, the kings of the earth will come. Even before Solomon, when David was in power, man, you had heathen kings that showed high reverence to David. Because he was conquering even some of their enemies that they had been battling with. King David was like the a king of kings, man. Solomon was a king of kings. Kings came from near and far, all right, to get that wisdom from Solomon, man. So, our people, our rulership had a heavy influence in the earth, man. But it dwindled down all the way into this time of the Babylonians, when we was taken down, all right, and these nations, they relished in our downfall. And it says, all thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. See? So these nations, always in the cut, relishing in what? Our downfall, man. Because that means they get the rule. That means they get to establish their standard in the earth, man. You see? Well, that's going to be done away with completely. All right? That's why Howard Shah is coming, all right, to get to gain many crowns, man. You know why? All right? Because their righteous standard finna be put in the earth, man. And we finna get a hell of a lick back. And you Edomites can get rid of. All right? So while that was happening, all right, what was your boy E doing while we was being taken down? Because he was the number one, all right, cheerleading the damn crowd, man. All right, this is Psalms 137 and 7. He said, remember, O Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, the children of Edom. So it's emphasis on the children of Edom, man. All right, the nation of Edom, you Edomites. In the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. Yeah, they wanted us to be completely destroyed. You see? Because you go into that word, all right, Arah, all right, Arah in the Hebrew, and it says to be bare, all right, to leave destitute. You see? They want us completely empty, man. They want us to be nothing. Race it, destroy them. All right? Cheerlead, man. I said, even to the foundation thereof, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee, as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. You see? That payback coming, man. You know, we gonna get real reparation, man. Not your weak ass FRN notes. No, you gonna be the reparations, man. All right, we need that same energy. All right, that took to build this empire. We need that double to build our empire. All right, we gonna reward you double, man. And also, you can have your little mock, slave auctions. You can, have them dumbass slave activities. You know, it's cool. You at the very end of your empire, all right? Because you'll never be in this position again. You know, you out of here. Let's get some more prophecy, man. Prophecy gonna solve everything. That's why we're so comforted. It's because of prophecy, man. All right. This is Isaiah 60:14. It says the sons also. All right. The son. Matter of fact, let me get Genesis. Then we'll get that. All right. Let's go into the whole, beginning of the beef. All right. Now this is Genesis 27. All right. And I start 26. I said, and his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he's speaking to Jacob. He thinking it's Esau. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai have blessed. Therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Yeah. So when you go into plenty of corn and wine, that just goes into resources. All right, because those things are made, from resources, from crops. Crops are resources. All right, so we're going to be over the resources of the earth. All right, the fatness of the earth. All right, we're going to dwell in the most, plush parts of the earth within our kingdom, man. All right, and it says going down to 30, it says, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made the end of blessing Jacob, Jacob was yet scarce gone out the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him? Yeah, and he shall be blessed. You see, and the Most High is going to stand on that blessing, man, that was given to Jacob. All right, and part of that blessing, well, these Edomites are going to serve us, man, and they're going to serve us in a very rigorous captivity, man. All right, because right now we hold the record for the worst captivity, but Edom's captivity is going to be far worse, man. Hey, he got it coming. All right, so that's what we rest in, because this was symbolic for these two nations and how the story will end. Now Esau was blessed with the sword, like what he has now is what Isaac blessed him with in this same chapter, the fatness of the earth through the sword. But there's gonna come a time, all right, where Edom, his rulership was gonna be over, and ours was gonna begin the eternal rulership. You see, we done had rulership in the earth before. We done had Edomites in captivity, but now it's finna be eternal. All right, and in that first 1,000 years, all right, it's gonna be a rigorous captivity for all nations, chiefly Esau, Edom. And after that 1,000 years, Esau gonna be done away with. See, the prophecy really gonna deal with the problem. What Jake be suggesting, and talking about we need to make more movies, and no, all right. This word needs to be taught. All right, the prophecies need to keep popping off, and Esau Edom gonna get his judgment, man. So when you go to Isaiah, all right, Isaiah 60 and 14, it says, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise these shall bow themselves. What it sound like? Their promise, you know? And it was already always our promise in the beginning because we are the firstborn, all right, in the spirit. You know, Esau came out first, you know, carnally, all right, but spiritually we are the firstborn. So it was always meant for us to get that blessing. You know, the Most High just played it out like that for, you know, for drama's sake, man. All right. It says the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that it says, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, the city of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee in eternal excellency a joy of many generations. Yeah, so at the end of the day, all right, these same people, that same teacher, you know, that made that assignment, guess what? She gonna be bowed down in the kingdom. All right, she gonna have a job way in the field somewhere, way in the mines. All right, mining precious stones. You know, her ass gonna be carrying timber. You know, she gonna have a very laborious, all right, job. All right, and then she can write a letter. All right, that same letter that she requiring, hey, she gonna have to write that letter. You know, except it's gonna be her reality. Ain't gonna be no pretend. It's gonna be your reality, man. It's gonna be her reality, man. You see? So at the end of the day, Israel wins, man. All right? Israel wins when it's all said and done. And we'll get this, we'll end it here. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And those strangers are Israelite foreigners. All right? But then when you jump to verse 2, and the people shall take them, and that them is talking about actual heathens. You know, and it's going to explain how it's speaking of heathen by, all right, what's going to happen to them, all right? And it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. You see? So as the spirit is getting on these Edomite teachers to come up with these assignments and, you know, have the mock slave trades, well, that just signifies that you are those people. You are, all right, those captives, man. All right? You are captors, man. You know? But now you finna be the captives. All right? You are oppressors, but now we finna rule over our oppressor. And it shall come to pass in that day, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. You see? So we finna come into a time of rest, man. And their captivity is finna begin, man. All right? 1,000 years, man. It's gonna be a stretched out, drawn out 1,000 years of torment, man. You know? Or torment. And you gonna build our kingdom from scratch. All right? These weak ass cities you got ain't gonna be nothing compared to what we got, man. These look, you know, and hey, we like I say, brothers don't know how y'all gonna make it, but that's not our problem. Figure it out like we had to, man. You know? But that's the point. Hope you brothers and you few sisters edified till the next time I say shalom.